for those listening right now, we'll start here. Welcome to the behind.
I just want to say thanks for sticking around. We've took 2 weeks off just because we wanted to. Because we deserve it.
Yeah.
There's no other podcast
that puts in the
episodes
effort
out every week.
Yeah.
Right, what are you going to say?
So now that Tommy got that completely
just
unnecessary,
trying to be nice to our
thing,
listeners.
Do you know what I find ironic whenever we start this podcast? See, if I said that, he'd be like, "You don't need to say that. You don't need to."
I am actually appreciative of people who listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
He'd be like, be a bit more enthusiastic.
I was watching this TikTok. You know the guy in America that dresses up as a bush and jumps out at people?
Yeah.
Have you seen his latest video?
Yeah.
Is this the one?
The girl
There we go.
with, I think she's special needs or something, but she walks past and he jumps out and she starts crying.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my. And then does the dad come up or something?
He's laughing. Yeah, he's like,
yeah. Oh, was he thought it was good crack.
He's
Like.
The dad's like,
Oh,
nice
just-
one, bro.
just so
you got her.
just got her.
hysterics. Like.
Fucking do it
She's
for the
gonna be
vine.
mentally scarred for the rest of her life. Nice one. Yeah, vibes. Lots happened this week. We have took 2 weeks off because, as Tommy said, we did deserve it.
We deserve it.
Moving on. We did. What have you missed? Let me tell you what you've missed. We did the stag. Cool. Came back. Done the football tournament. Did
won
well.
A trophy.
Won
Let's go.
a
Let's
trophy.
go.
We didn't win the
No,
trophy.
we'll
Well,
just
here,
say we won the
do you know
trophy.
what I mean? We're not high level athletes here.
Well, I don't know. The performance I seen from some of us was unreal.
Some of us.
Some of us.
I feel like I'm being excluded. from
Yeah,
that.
not you. Joking. No.
It's all me.
You did well. Shay and Nets.
Ball.
Holy
my
fuck, man!
David
Shay
De
not
Gea.
last game. So
No stopping me. Like.
basically,
Brick
there was
wall.
8 teams and there was 2 trophies. So there was a trophy for like the best team who won like against the
Top 4.
top 4. Yeah, and then there's the bottom 4 played. We were in the bottom 4. We won that. But let's
Emerged
paint the
Victoria.
picture.
The
We're
game
taking
before.
we're
Started the game before, hey?
The game before. What was
Oh,
it?
no, sorry. It was the playoff game. It was the playoff game.
It was tight.
And I was in nets. No, I was in nets. And the guys were just putting every fucking shot past me. Like.
You
Oh,
weren't
yeah.
saying
I had an
anything.
absolute nightmare.
What was the score in that game?
Oh, they beat us like 6-1 or
You got
6-2 or
absolutely
something.
taken advantage of. Like.
And I was having a dead on day in nets. Like, it was alright. Like.
Yeah.
Lad, you were
And I
good.
just got-
You just went through a game where you had a rough
Right,
patch. Like,
And then I had it in my head, I can't do nets again.
No.
And then it came to the quarterfinals. Wasn't it? Semi-finals, sorry. So went into the semi-finals of the Donkey Cup.
Yeah, it was a
And
semi.
then I was like, I can't do nets
We're
here.
walking over the nets, and she was like,
Do you
to me,
step in nets then?
I stepped in this.
Yeah.
Never clean
I
sheet.
was like,
Clean
I was
sheet.
like, I can't do this.
The boys are pure hyping me up from the sidelines.
Ross stepped up, like,
I-
put in a shift.
I was sacrificing my life.
But-
There was a shot hit towards me, and I was in my head, I was like, split second decision. I was like, I need to get in front of this. It hit the tip of my fingers, and I was like, oh. And then the worst thing was, afterwards, it was like, oh, who's doing nets? And I was like, I'm not. I can't repeat that performance.
Nobody would
It
step
was
up.
actually
Like.
And I
your
need it.
turn.
Nobody
And
would-
Shay was like, I'm not. I can't do it. He's like,
This was the final burn, man. Like,
We were
this
pure
was
begging
the
him up, we were
final.
like,
Like.
Shay, come on, you can do it.
I remember
Come on,
me
Shay.
coming over and starting to slap you. I started
Oh
slapping
my
Shay on the
God.
chest.
He played unreal. He must have saved, I don't know, like 10 shots.
Yeah.
The people that were playing against were actually just like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
They were like, what's the point in even shooting? Like?
They give up.
They give up.
They
We
give
won
up.
that game like 6-1.
Because they knew was I telling you this? They knew we did the podcast. So afterwards they were like, I'm going to leave a bad review on your podcast because you were just a brick wall, hey. But yeah,
Shout out to Anytime Fitness for putting it on.
Yeah.
It was good.
GG's, good event. Like.
love playing with Ernie though. Your mate Ernie.
He's
now,
a big
baller, man.
Oh,
He's
he's
so
a
good.
baller.
Yeah.
Ernie is a savage at football. Do you want to know why?
Yeah.
Because we ran up the sideline at one stage and the boy kicked the ball, it hit off Ernie and went out, and Ernie just immediately went, that's ours. And I was standing there going, no, it's not, Ernie. And he was like, that's ours. And then the guy was like, lad, that hit off you. And he was like, I don't think I did. And I was like, why are
But
you
Ernie's such a quiet lad. Like
but
he
he's
does.
arrogant
Real-
when it gets
whenever he's
yeah,
on the pitch, he
100%.
can be big time.
And then whenever you weren't allowed to score from the sidelines, Ernie blasted it at your boy. And then your boy goes, surely that, and the boy started rioting, and Ernie was just like, did I score? No. And I
Yeah.
was like, he's got a point. Your logic is
Oh,
flawed.
such a stupid thing. as
But
well.
so Ernie, if you're listening to this, you're an absolute bollocks as well, because I had a sore stomach for about 6 days after. Ernie goes to
Oh
me at the
my
start.
God, that
So
was so
for
fun.
those of you who have you'll know what five-a-side football is if you live under a rock. But like basically, Ernie was like, right, Ross. Ernie plays futsal professionally.
Yeah.
So that's why we had him on the team. Ernie comes out once a year to play football with the boys. But Ernie goes to me, right, Ross, here's what I need you to do. And bearing in mind, I just got off a flight from Birmingham, so I was disorientated. Like, I didn't know what the hell's going on. Straight onto the pitch, an hour late, straight on the pitch, and Ernie came over to me and was like, I need you to stand back post. And I was like, right. And he's like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to blast it and make it look like I'm going for goal, but I'm actually going to blast it towards you. He was like, all you need to do is just tap it in. Yeah. And in my head, I was like, no bother. Happy Gilmore, just tap it in. Next minute, I'm standing at the back post like a dick. I'm like, yeah, Ernie, I'm where you want me to be. Ernie hoofs it. I mean, like 100 miles an hour, that ball came towards me. And I was going to move out of the way, but I had no chance because it came at me like 100 miles an hour. Yeah. Hit me in the stomach, and then I just tapped it in, and he was like, that's what we need. And I was like, I'm never doing that again.
That's a one-time thing, bro.
Absolutely drilled into your stomach, and the ball, like, all the power came out of the ball, and it just drilled.
You could hear them.
Just swiped his
noise echoing up your throat.
You were literally like... and then he just slid it in.
And then he goes, that was, and then afterwards he bigged me up. He's like, lad, need you to do that again. That was perfect. You had the perfect posture to receive that ball. I was like, what other bloody way did you want me to receive the ball?
Yeah.
Like
you're about to keel. It just dropped in front of you, and you're about to keel, and you just like you didn't even want the ball. You just touched it in.
Seen it and tapped it.
Head down. No, but no, he was balling. He was all like, fucking just boot the ball at me, like. Boot the ball at me. He kept going to me. He's like, just boot it at me. I will get it.
But there was one of the games where he sort of knew I was getting a bit pissed off, like, because I can get a bit pissed off during football and get a bit competitive. But I was trying to like refrain myself, and then Ernie just came over to me and was like, Ross, go hard. Okay, Ernie, it's time to go hard. Like,
let's fucking get it.
Let's get it.
GG's big win though. For the
big win for the boys. We brought the
feed off.
So brought the trophy home. Yeah, fair enough to your man for putting it on. Yeah. Really, really good. Anyway, that's what's happening in our world.
Yes, sir.
What's been happening in the real world? What's been happening outside? It seems
scandals
to me
galore. Oh no!
Our media correspondent Aaron, aka producer Aaron, is here with let's talk about Dish the Dirt.
Can we start with the RTE thing? But can we go through all the expenses that came out? So like the flip flop stuff and all.
The flip flop.
Have you not heard all this? Can you get that up?
So why is this?
Give me 2 minutes.
Why is this a contentious topic? Because of our RTE's expenses?
So basically,
the public?
So it's, think of the BBC on paying your TV license. So that's basically you're paying for BBC.
Yeah,
because it's government sort of owned, I think is the right term. It's the same with RTE, but you know the way like with over here on the UK, you can sort of get away with it. Like if someone's coming to your door, you're like, oh, I just stream.
I don't watch BBC.
Whereas the RTE, if you have a TV in your house in the south, you have to pay your TV license. Like,
cool.
So if they came to your door and you were like, oh, I only stream, they're like, well, there's a fucking TV.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Give me my money.
But no man, no fun.
It's that sort of thing of like, because it's sort of like a government thing, and they're spending all this money pretty carelessly, as we will find out.
I've seen a couple of things where your CFO, the girl, there was one of the girls on the panel or whatever they were like briefing into. I'm really ill-educated on this, so sorry, but she was pure like, you rented a bus from Dublin to wherever to go watch a concert, like, and all this here was pure getting at her, like actually grilling her, and I was like, what, like, what is going on here?
But it was the best one was when they had the CFO on and your woman was like, how much do you make a year? What's your salary? And he goes, oh, I don't know the exact figure, like I don't really know. And she was like, you're the CFO of RTE and you don't know what salary you're on.
Yeah.
She was like, give it a rest. I mean, they kept pushing him. Like, it was so good to watch because there was just no getting away from it. And
so who conducted the interview?
It must have been like the Irish government or something, like people from the Irish government. I don't know the actual.
Was it people from, who was it?
Orange shaking his head.
Oh, no, I'm reading the article.
Oh, right.
I am disapproving.
Disgusted.
Who was it grilled them? Was it government?
So, what do you? I forget what the committee's called, but in it's a bit like in the UK when the P&O bosses, when they did the redundancies, they got hauled in front of Parliament. It's a certain amount of MPs from the UK Parliament that grills them and asks them questions. It's the same in the Irish Parliament. It's MPs that are a part of a select committee. That's what it's called. It's a part of a committee.
Selection box.
It's a part of a committee that's it's like multi multiple parties, so it's not just from
It's
the
not
ruling
biased.
party. It's not
Yeah, fair.
biased.
Yeah.
So in the UK, I can't really speak for Ireland, but for the UK, it's Labour, it's Lib Dems,
Yeah.
Conservative, and everyone. There's politicians from here in it. But it's multi-political, and they're asking questions. Basically, doesn't necessarily result in a grilling, but that's what's happening at the minute.
It's basically like a roast, like.
Basically,
RTE, like.
A roast without the comedy.
But yeah, the CFO was like, they were like, how much do we? And he goes, oh, he's like, oh, like 200 grand a year.
Yeah.
And they were just like, was that hard? But yeah, let's move on to this article, Aaron. Break it down for us. Some of the stuff's ridiculous, like.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start off
Getting out.
not talking about your man Ryan. This is about expense.
So this is sort of where it all started out.
So it's not just him.
No,
It's not
this
just
is
him,
where it
no.
all
They're
started.
all at it, the cons.
So this is expenditure that the board is paying for certain stuff to bring clients on and to bring themselves on. Team building events.
A piss up, basically.
Right. They very kindly have done it in both euros and
Nice.
sterling.
Oh,
So
nice.
which figure would you prefer?
We'll go with pounds.
We'll go with pounds.
Okay, so in pounds, they spent 118,061 pounds on Ireland rugby tickets
Jesus.
to go see Ireland play. So I don't know who all went on that, but
It doesn't get
it's the
any
board.
better. I'll tell you
It's
that.
the
much.
board.
How much is a rugby ticket? Like 40 quid? 80 quid?
Depends on the
Yeah, it
game.
depends
like.
on
What do you think they're sitting in?
Well, they're not 180,000. Like.
Do you think they're sitting in normal seats? Do you know
that's
what I
it,
mean? They're in a
Yeah.
wee box.
In the box,
Getting
eh?
a wee 3-course meal, a wee bottle of wine on the
The
go.
dinner brought down. Like.
They're not sitting in no seats.
Oh, sir, is that a Chianti? I'll take that.
Just for clarity, that's what I was shaking my head at earlier.
That's fucking ridiculous.
£94,962 was spent on a client trip, so they brought in a potential advertiser probably to the 2019 World Cup in Japan.
Necessary, yeah.
It's another 100 grand of
That
Irish
was
taxpayer
rugby as
money.
Entertaining
That was
someone.
also rugby, yeah.
Flip me, no wonder no guests want to come on this
Funny
podcast
enough,
if they're looking schmoozed like
on
that.
that, I used to work in an agency, and we were actually talking about like how it's so different now to what it used to be back in the day. Like they say, like, because so like the agency I would have like spent a certain amount with like ITV for advertising for clients. Would have spent a certain amount with like different like companies like that, but like the likes of ITV would have took people from the agency away on these like mad holidays, like.
Yeah.
Because they're like, we'll spend like 10 grand taking them away, but over the year we might get like 100 grand from them. Like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like it's sort of like
Sweeten them up. Like.
that does happen, like.
Yeah, it definitely happens, but at least with ITV it's coming from their money,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not taxpayer money, which I suppose is a big
That is a
issue.
good point. Taxpayer money. There you go.
I think at the very least they should have been upfront about what they were using taxpayer money for instead of trying to hide it.
Does it get worse?
Not really. It kind of goes down from there. So the board went on a team building event and they went to see the Champions League final between Liverpool and Spurs.
What the hell, man?
It
Are
cost
you
It
serious?
cost £22,243.
What? For a team building day?
And
Lad, I can't even convince our team to go to the flipping lake in Kilray. I'm like, lads, let's go to the lake. And they're like, no.
If you had Champions League tickets, I bet you they go.
Flip me.
Here.
You may
22 grand's worth of Champions League tickets.
You may speak to the CFO. Ross.
CFO. Here, big
Couple
man.
of Champions League tickets on the go.
That's absolutely
That's
ridiculous.
ridiculous. That must have been a while ago because Liverpool haven't really
Was it 4 years ago?
That
Was
was the year Liverpool won it.
won it.
Yeah.
That was a few years ago. And 5,000 on flip flops. I don't know what the flip flops are for. There's no
£5 on
There's
flip.
no. For £5,000, I would expect everyone who works for RTE to have a pair of flip flops.
Like
Yeah.
Havana
Yeah.
had flip flops, like
Oh my.
£5 grand.
Havana.
Yeah.
it? What's Havana?
You know the ones you see in holidays, or like
Flip-flops
like,
as
I
well
don't know
are
if I'm
so-
pronouncing the word right. You know the ones like they're like proper traditional flip flops. Like, have you? Is there anything? Is the stuff there on like the Soho memberships and all?
Let me just look
What's,
that up.
There's-
what's the Soho
There's
membership?
basically like money spent on like memberships and for like a Soho club in London and all this here stuff. No?
Oh, yeah.
Literally,
Yeah.
it's
Just
hard to
your
describe it. So if
traditional-
you're listening to this right now and you're thinking, what's Havana flip flops? Just picture a pair of flip flops
Yeah.
with Havana on them,
Exactly.
and some of them may be a nice design.
And is there any
Least-
indication of where these went to or who they went to? Or
The what is
why
just
they went to?
RTE, like.
But the
It's not like you get wearing them in Ireland, like. Well, like I suppose some
They
people would.
probably had a big beach party in the fucking Aviva Stadium or something.
The rugby.
Yeah, so certain members of the board spent €4,200 of RTE's money for private membership at the Soho House Private Members Club in London.
That's a bit sus, that, like, isn't it?
But like, yeah,
That's a bit sus.
I didn't realise it was that little, or I wouldn't have brought it up. But
Yeah.
still.
But how
it's
does
for a
that
membership,
benefit the
like.
company
Oh, no.
at
Yeah.
the same time? That's something that should be
So
coming out
how
of their
has this
power.
all come out? Like, because obviously that figure that you just give for the Champions League thing, that's years ago. So is this all? As someone literally just went into the accounts and went here.
Must have got audited or
I'd say
something
the
like that.
government have requested the information and they can't not give it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like is it a subpoena you call it? I don't know if that would have happened, but
It's an
like,
audit.
I don't, yeah,
They
well,
would
there
have
you go.
audited them, but
They have been
They have-
audited.
that's
Consider
probably
yourself audited.
not everything. Like I'd
No.
say they've went through and hid a lot of things, like whatever they could, and then they've come across like the likes of the $5,000 in flip flops and been like, we can't hide this anywhere. We're gonna have to show them this. like.
Yeah.
Just under $7,000 in Spice Girls tickets.
When did the Spice
That's
Girls fucking play?
That's that. I
Spice Girl. Whoever was doing this report for RTE just be like, let's maybe try and spice this up a little bit and maybe not put in that we spent that on Spice Girls tickets.
like who's signing these things off as well? Like surely like the CFO or the accounts department needs to be sacked now. Like.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that the board's still sitting. And
That's
even I don't know what his name is, but the equivalent of the director general, I'm not sure how he's still sitting. Like it's still very strange.
Yeah.
And just under $2,000 in pounds went on balloons.
Nice.
Yeah.
$2,000 on balloons. Like
parties,
how many balloons is that?
Bit, a
like?
lot of balloons.
a lot.
That's a lot of balloons. And there's a helium shortage as well. Blimmin' heck.
It's not on. It's not
Telling
on.
you.
guys.
That's ridiculous.
Maybe they're all doing balloons in the
That's-
office.
And
Fucking-
that doesn't even cover salaries of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
there's
God
a-
knows what I.
Get me a
Because
job.
top
at
dollar.
RTE,
Tubber,
please.
what was Tuberty on $500,000 or something?
I think Tuber's on 600k in euros.
Is it
I think
600k?
it's 600 on the dot.
$500,000
So,
sterling then.
According to this, they've topped up his salary when he was meant to be taking a pay cut. They've topped up his salary to 600k from the years of 2017 to 2022, which is a total of €345,000 that they've siphoned into his account.
Do you think maybe like, do you think the fact that do you feel like the events that have occurred on RTE are too, like, they're very sus, like him leaving and he got his whole goodbye, last hurrah, and now this has come out? Do you think maybe he knew?
We were talking about this when one's in work, and like we were saying, like it seems like he's probably, well, like this is all hypothetical, obviously, but it seems like he's left hoping to avoid this. Like
And
he's
he's got
probably
sucked
knew
straight
he
back
probably
in.
knew this was gonna happen, and he's
Yeah.
like, fucking, I've been on the Late Show long enough now, and would rather not be involved in this. And he's been pulled back in, but he still works.
He
on
still works
on
RTE
the
radio, yeah.
So I
How
don't
do can you
know.
blame him though? Like, if
That-
someone
that's what-
came to you
yeah.
and were giving you $600,000 a year, like, you're not gonna fucking say no.
What
because
must
it's the right
have
thing to do. Like.
'Cause he came out and he was on 600,000, but he was meant to
Yeah.
take a pay cut along with all of the other people that work for RTE. So all of the production staff took a 40% a 20% pay cut, which
Yeah.
is massive.
That's a big chunk.
And
Like.
he was meant to go from 600k to 525k, which is still a comfortable enough living. But to avoid the books,
No bad of him.
to avoid the books, the financial department and the board at RTE signed off an agreement that RTE would give Renault €75,000 and Renault would give RTE back that €75,000 in terms of a sponsorship, to hide it as a sponsorship, so they could then give that €75. Sorry, Renault would give the €75 to Tuberty,
Yeah.
so he would be sponsored by Renault, but it was actually just RTE giving Renault the money to Renault giving back the money to RTE.
So they can put it down as like an expense to Renault.
Essentially, he has took a pay cut, but then they have organised this sort of under the table to bump it back up to 600k.
Yeah. And the weird thing is, he's sitting in Parliament saying that he has took a pay cut
Mm.
when he hasn't.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
suppose, like, if you want to be
Technically.
technical about it, you could say he has took a pay cut at RTE, but like the sponsorship probably wouldn't be considered as like an RTE thing. Like that's probably like, oh well, that's money I make because of who I am type of thing.
But like,
technically it's not, but the money's still coming.
Yeah,
The
well,
money came from RTE on both sides.
Yeah.
but then he says he didn't know. So how true is this?
oh, what do you mean? How do you not know?
Well, he like
Because
what-
the money's coming into his sodding bank account.
I
Do
know,
you know what
but
I mean?
like, what if he didn't know that RTE done that and Rano were just like, we want you to
Yeah,
work with you
that's
as,
also fair.
as an ambassador, and
Yeah.
this is what we're paying you.
And he went, "Oh, that's convenient."
I know, but like it's all like how you don't really know how it all happened. Like,
Mm.
do you know what I mean?
But get your coin. Fair play. Like,
Yeah.
but
But if
th-
you were
also
him,
just be
if
honest.
you were him, would you be like, oh, no?
Absolutely not.
No, I'd be
Not a
like,
chance.
give me 100k.
Yeah.
Bump my pay up.
Fucking get
I'm worth it,
Mercedes in
girl.
here and
It's a
fucking
hard one.
Take me to the Champions League
BMW.
final. Schmooze me.
It's a hard one to know. Like,
What's your thoughts on it?
I think it would be fair to imagine that he didn't really know. I would say he was intentionally ignorant, though. I would say he intentionally
Yeah,
didn't.
you're not
dig.
gonna
He
question.
didn't
You're not gonna
ask
question
questions.
where
I
your
think
money's
he
coming
just
from.
intentionally didn't ask questions, but I think his agent playing dumb and saying that he didn't have a clue. He's sitting going, "Oh, I just did what RTE told me to do."
Mm.
I wonder,
believe
is there
that.
like a thing with like the agents where they're like, it's better off not telling them stuff if it does lead to like a legal sort of thing.
Well, I
So
suppose
they
it's
can-
just it's all no comment. Like, it'd be much better for PR because at the same time, if he doesn't know, he's
Yeah.
not. He like, there's no chance of him if he knows and he has knowledge that they don't want him to share. Him not knowing is better than him knowing and trying to keep his mouth shut.
Yeah.
But then, like, he could be that rich that he just wouldn't notice 75k. Like.
Yeah.
He probably is that
But
rich. He
it's-
doesn't
when you
notice
think about
75k.
it as
like.
well, like going from 600k to 525k, like fucking hell. Like how
Aye.
much money do you need, like?
Yeah, yeah.
Like honestly, like surely he can't be spending that much money a year. Like,
But like you said it yourself, that amount of money in Ireland's not like, it's not, well, to be fair, 600k is probably, but like you were saying, the 200k like the CFO proclaimed to make is not like pure.
Even 600k is not fuck you money.
Yeah.
600k is enough money to know exactly what you're getting paid.
Yeah.
You still have to kind of look.
oh, come on,
You still have to kind of look at what you're spending. You can't just spend all around you.
But like you but like,
Southern majors are huge compared to here, though.
yeah.
Like they're probably double compared to here. Like.
But do you not
That's
agree?
And then
50
the
grand a
cost of
month.
living.
Do you
like.
not-
That's 50 grand a month. Like
Before tax.
seriously.
Do you not agree though that if you're,
So you're making 12 and a half grand a week.
yeah.
Like, come on, like. That is fuck you money, like what is fuck you money, like
But, like,
seriously?
a
Are you
month-
what like how,
Well, he probably only gets like 8 grand of that.
oh, well after tax, like, but still,
Not
come
even,
on,
maybe.
like, how would you spend 8 grand a week, like honestly? You probably could.
Yeah, if you
but
give me an accord, like.
you could, but like you would have to be taking the absolute piss, like.
See, I don't
Yeah.
know really how it works because I'm not privileged enough to earn that amount of money. But at the same time, I would also say when your pay goes up, your spending goes up naturally. Just it's a fact of life, like.
Yeah.
I just think it's fucking ridiculous, like.
Mm.
But he's probably got that many bills and stuff he needs to get paid 600 quid a year. Like he's probably accumulated that much money. Like
He's a big
you don't like buy a house thinking in fucking 10 years time, oh, I'm going to be getting paid less. Like you always think, oh, I'm going to keep climbing and climbing and getting paid more and more. Like
Surely he wouldn't have a mortgage, like.
probably good. Like maybe he has like a £2 million house. Like he's not going to pay that cash. Like
But like he may have a driver he needs to pay. He may have, you know what I mean.
his chef,
Fair enough, lah. Yeah, chef.
private chef.
You know
Is,
what I mean.
the average rent in
PT.
Dublin is just over €2,500 a month.
yeah, it's fucking disgusting.
And that's the average apartment.
Yeah.
It's mad, isn't it?
I'm sure he's not living in an average apartment either. Like
He could be now.
Oh dear. So and so what is the outcome of this all now? Is just basically get your affairs in order, lah.
So the government haven't decided because they haven't got all
Ooh.
the facts yet, so they don't really know what to do.
Can they do anything?
Uh,
But is it actually like guided by or directed by the public, the business, or who directs it? Like?
so who directs it
Or
in
makes
terms
it
of-
makes the decisions in the business? Like?
So
Does the
like,
public have
like
a-
it's very similar to the BBC. It's very similar
Yeah.
to the BBC. Only they have adverts. So they do have a director general.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's his actual title, but they do have a director general who is like the guy who is outside of the board, but in charge of RTA. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like the king of RTA basically. They then have the board like a normal company.
But he can decide to just continue as is.
He
He's not actually doing anything legally wrong.
He
Like
wouldn't be making everyday decisions though. Like I would be the board, like whoever's
Oh,
the
yeah,
board
yeah,
of
yeah.
directors. Like
But
think,
like, are they doing anything wrong?
well,
like-
obviously,
I think
But it's not wrong. It's just like they're entitled to do whatever they want with the money that they're earning. It's just because it's public earned money.
well, why?
So that's what I'm saying.
Why
Like
has this happened?
who guides this? Like?
So the difference between RTE and, for example, maybe another like Virgin, for example, down south, is that like the BBC, they actually aren't allowed to do whatever they want with their money because it is owned by the public. So it is ownership is public ownership, which means they are answerable to the public.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know broadcast law down south, but the government will then take time to figure out if they have done anything wrong, and if they have, they'll take action accordingly.
Yeah.
But the Director General of RTE is just announced a couple hours ago, actually today, breaking news,
Dun dun
that
dun.
he'll decide on Ryan Tubridy's future in a week. So in a week today. So when this podcast come out, it'll be maybe a couple of days.
But you can't fire Ryan Tubridy. Like.
It's a bit sus.
Like,
Can, like.
But like,
I'll
why
decide
he
your
didn't
future.
he didn't do anything wrong. Like.
Tubridy.
He's just
I
took
know,
it, like.
but it's the public perception of that he did anything wrong.
There's no coming back from this. Even if he
No.
if
I
he
don't-
stays
I
on
don't know.
RTE,
I think-
there's no.
I think you could fire him, but I don't know. I don't think it's as bad as like it's not like Philip Schofield sort of situation.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just the public perception of
Yeah.
him. It's like the way RTE will be looking at it is like, is this going to affect listeners coming on? Like, how big of a dent is it going to have on his show and advertising sets the side of things? So if it is going to have a big effect, they're going to let him go. Like,
But that's the thing. Like it, as you were saying earlier, like everyone has to pay their TV license. It's not as if people are going to make. It doesn't work like ITV where they're
It's-
based on the ratings.
They advertise.
Yeah, but like it's based on the ratings and stuff, so people aren't actually going to get away from it because they're still paying their fucking TV license if they don't want to watch
I
them.
know,
Like.
but he's a radio show.
I know, but they're still paying into RTE anyway.
I know, but like advertising.
Yeah, yeah, that too. But I'm saying like people can't get away from. They're going to have to pay anyway. As you
Oh, no,
said, like
but
if you have a TV in your house, you have to pay for
The
it.
money RTE can make will change based on what's being advertised on the radio.
Yeah.
So like you think of the slots, the way it'll happen is like the slots in between. If Tubridy stays on, it's likely the business will be coming on and saying we don't want to be advertising during that time, or if we're advertising during that time, we want it to be at this much money. We're not paying that much after what's happened. And
Yeah.
if that happens, like they're gonna look and be like, well, this is how much we were making before. This is how much it is now, and they'll look at Tubridy and be like, well, is it better just to get rid of him altogether?
Yeah. But then again, like who do you bring in that's going to probably bring in as much money as him? Like?
I don't know.
There's not many people on that level down in Ireland. Like.
I suppose like it's hard to know. Like I don't know like what the perception of him is, how much it's affected him. But like from that interview he was doing, or like when he was getting deposed or whatever, he was in a bad way. Like. He
Yeah.
said he was getting death threats and all that.
Fuck
And
me.
he didn't want to leave the house, and you know what I mean?
I think that's ridiculous. Like. I don't think he's done anything wrong. Like.
No.
He hasn't technically done anything wrong. Like. And I think anyone else in his position, you're a dickhead if you say you wouldn't take that. Like.
It's just unfortunate that he's the face of a lot of it.
But
You know what I mean? Like there's the cut goes deeper than him. Like. It's
Yeah.
just unfortunate that he's at the surface of it.
And
Really.
he's getting the
Yeah.
brunt of it.
Well, that's basically what he said. He said like I'm basically been made the poster boy of this.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
like when like all the stuff he read before talking about the Tubridy thing, like that's
did
not
wear the
to do.
flip-flops,
That's nothing to do with him. Like
Yeah.
From a solely production point of view, I don't think he will be able to work in IT or RT ever again, because I don't think there's going to be many production people that'll want to work beside him, but for the sole reason that they all took a 20% pay cut, and he walked around saying that he also took a 20% pay
yeah.
cut.
Do you think they took one
that's,
too,
that's
though?
such a good point.
Do you
Like,
think they might have got the same sort of treatment, whereas like they were then?
No, they didn't.
a lad.
They didn't.
The,
No, no.
position of power he was in compared to
Yeah.
them. Like you think of someone like doing, I don't know, like what like Aaron does,
Yeah.
it working on RT, like they can be replaced. Like
Yeah.
whereas Tubridy's like
The face. Like.
Yeah.
he was
I-
doing the Late Late Show. Like, do you know what I
Mm.
mean? He was the main man. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't work with him.
Yeah.
Like if I was working for RT now, I wouldn't work with him.
See, that's
But it's not-
trumpy. Like the
then-
fact he done that. Like.
but then the flip side of that is like, well, that's not really your decision. Do you know what I mean?
It
like,
is because everyone's individually contracted.
But
They're
like-
not like
But like, will people like, will the board or whoever really be like, oh, well, people in here don't want to work with him, we'll have to let him go? Like, will that really matter?
yeah, I would say people will probably walk out. I would
Seriously?
say, I would say they would go on strike. Yeah.
Fucking hell. I don't know.
But do you not think
I
they'll
don't-
just get them people replaced as quick as?
Yeah, that's
You
what I would
can't
say, like.
fire people that are going on strike. There's very good very good production unions both in Ireland and in the UK.
But
Inside information.
I'm
Here.
telling you, it's not good.
Just let
That's
them keep
all.
working.
That's all it is. Though. It's not good. But anyway,
So you think he's gone?
I don't know. He could easily do his radio show because it involves like 2 people.
Yeah.
yeah, you do it from home. WFH, work from home.
Well, we'll know this time next week.
Stay tuned. What's been happening at BBC? I've seen some other.
Oh my goodness, they were getting into
now we're
dangerous
getting
waters.
dangerous waters. Has someone been photographing nudie pictures of themselves or something?
Dirty boy.
What's been the
What's
crack?
been happening with the BBC with
Yeah.
Hugh Edwards?
Yeah,
Da-da-da-da.
it had to be him,
Well, it was
like
him,
of
man.
everybody.
It's
like,
came
it
out.
had-
My
I know,
wife
but
came out
like
and said-
you know,
I'm actually so surprised, like.
you just let down. Like.
Did you know him
No,
personally?
I didn't know him personally, but as far as
Aaron has a few WhatsApps
He's
from him.
texting you. He's
My-
texting you, being like, "Lad, can't believe it."
my missus, auntie and uncle are best friends with the ex person who was in charge of BBC News Worldwide, and they were very good mates with Hugh Edwards, and they're very surprised as well.
The wife out at him, didn't he? Didn't she?
The
I
wife
don't
of-
think she.
I think she gave him a
I
statement,
think she's
didn't
stu-
she? On his behalf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh right, I
I don't
thought
think
she
she came out and was like, "Was fucking
This
him."
dickhead, like.
It's him. Get him.
Sly bastard.
But sure, he wasn't. He stopped presenting and all, didn't he? So like it was gonna be.
She basically said his
Come apart.
his mental health's really bad and he's in hospital and all.
What happened? Explain.
That's start.
What?
I think I want to start from the start here.
What was he
'cause
doing?
The news broke, and there was a lot of people who work from the BBC basically being accused. So
Mm.
like, I think it was the Sun.
Put up the thing of Rylan.
Yeah, tweeted the
Ryan
headline and used Rylan Clark on the photo. And Rylan Clark basically tweeted and was like, "This is fucking disgusting. Like, wasn't me, and now you're putting this out, making it out to be me. Like, this
Yeah.
is blah blah blah." And the Sun took it down.
Is that not like? Can he not sue them then for
Defamation.
defamation?
Probably could like.
They can't, mainly because of the context that was done. So the
Why?
headline was actually ITV presenter Rylan speaks out about the presenter scandal. So it was a story about Rylan speaking out against.
Was it though? I don't know if that's right.
It wasn't the Sun either. It was another tabloid.
The Mirror.
Star or something.
It was something. The Sun did the original story,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
this one with Ryland, it was something else. I forget.
It was the Independent.
That was it.
Right.
And the headline goes, "Oh yeah, you're right." But it said a top presenter has been taken off air after paying team 35,000 for X-Click pictures, and then it's a photo of him. But then under it is like the headline saying Ryan Clark responds to BBC presenter scandal.
I love the photo they used of him as well. It's like bosh, mad shit, and then it's just Rylan
It
like.
was the Independent, but then like yeah, like and then the likes of Paddy McGuinness and all came out, and he was basically making a joke out of it. He was like paying 35 grand for a wank, like he was like, what the fuck and all.
Oh my god. What, who was he paying? He was paying money to one person.
He was paying money to a wee boy. It
Oh, it was a boy.
was a boy.
I thought he was just fucking about an OnlyFans or something.
I think it was a
Fucking
boy.
about no
Actually,
That's why I was like, what's the big deal? Like?
He
BBC's
doesn't have
gonna
RTE
fucking-
money here. Like.
no,
Jesus
they
Christ.
met on Tinder.
Oh,
They met on
tell
Tinder,
me more.
and they then got his phone number, which was confirmed by BBC News to be. So people from BBC News knew it was Hugh Edwards before it broke. But
Was he of legal age?
as I think, I don't know, because the police have now turned around and said there was no laws broken, so
Yeah.
there's nothing they can do. But it all started. It was actually the parents of the person. It might not be a boy now. I think they're a non-gendered person.
Oh.
of
Right.
some
Okay.
sort.
Yeah.
But the parents actually came out. The parents found out about it, and they're the people that broke the story to
Yeah.
the Sun. The boy, or the person, I keep calling him a boy. The person,
The person in
young,
question.
the young person that he was in contact with, actually doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
They're actually just like, yeah, I'm 30k up.
Fucking
And now
rolling in it here, like.
Hugh Edwards has a wank.
Sammy Walker.
But and then
Yeah.
someone else came out. So there's now 2 people. So there's somebody else
Yeah.
came out who met them. This is it. There's somebody else came out that met him on Tinder, and then they swapped phone numbers. And then when this person was talking about going public with what happened, Hugh Edwards started threatening them through texts. So I think
Yeah.
I think the closest to the line illegal thing that happened was Hugh Edwards threatening this wee person with this young person
Sweet
with
person.
this little
Yeah.
this little guy.
Let's clarify here. Was it someone? It wasn't someone underage, but it was someone
It's the threats the
Close
problem.
to the mark.
See, what I
I
heard,
think they were 17, and I don't know the legality of that.
what I heard was
Why were they on Tinder though?
the person who was sending the photos didn't actually give a fuck. The police came out and was like, "There's been no laws broken here," and it was the parents that were actually the parents basically have went to this pretty big like law firm to like about this, and apparently the person doesn't actually give a fuck. So I think
They just want to pay a day.
the parents are just looking to pay it out.
Yeah.
But like,
That's bad. Like.
if the police are saying no laws have been broken, it's
It's
sort
just
of
another
like
scandal.
it's just like it's. But like that's the way things are now. Like,
Just for your 5 minutes of fame.
like his career's done. Like.
Yeah.
I know the police came out and said there's no
people
laws
coming
broken, but surely a sexually explicit picture of a 17-year-old is child porn.
We're getting into
You can't do pornography if you're under 18.
But they shouldn't have been on Tinder if they were under 18.
No, but it's
Was the
still
second one on
child
Tinder?
porn.
Yeah. But then does Tinder not become the...
I don't think Tinder
No.
themselves.
So basically,
you can be on Tinder if you're over 16, I think.
So
Oh,
he's
can you?
he's
Yeah.
basically asked for photos of this person who is close to the mark or whatever, and then that's now come out. So it's one of them things where, yeah, legally he's probably flying under the radar, but like because he's in the position that
Morally.
he is, that's a bit questionable. So what's the crack with him? I take it just like was it always going to come out that it was him, or could they kept it under? I suppose like at the end of the day.
Well, they couldn't have kept it under wraps because, especially as the BBC, even if the BBC were the only people that found out, they have a duty because they are publicly owned. And,
Yeah.
and especially with Hugh Edwards being top 10 paid presenter, the BBC legally have to disclose the salaries of the top 10 presenters. With Hugh Edwards being one of them, they would probably have a duty to say what the outcome of the investigation was anyway, so it probably would have come out at some point.
Yeah. He's in a
Well,
whirlwind of things.
It's even the fact of like everyone was like debating of like who it is in the BBC, and like all these fake stories were coming out saying, oh, it could be this person, it could be this person. Like all the people who worked there were cracking up.
Yeah.
Like the likes of Paddy McGuinness, the likes of Rylan Clark and all. Well, Rylan Clark's not doesn't work there, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Aye.
Like there's this whole like hearsay of like, oh, who could it be? So they're just damaging the reputation of people who actually work there.
Just
Yeah.
yeah, a
'Cause
story.
it's all, oh, it could be him. it
To
could
be fair, that's not right.
no.
You know what I mean? You imagine working there. You have a reputation to uphold, especially at the minute with like how turbulent like the news and the whole
like,
sort of thing is in show business.
He would have been the last person I expected, like, because
Yeah.
like you would, I never would have thought it. Like in my head, I was thinking, oh, it might be someone off the radio, it might be someone that's here or not. I would never have thought of a news presenter. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
it's
then-
mad.
He was pretty well respected as well. Did he not get like? Did he not get commemoration or something for doing? I don't know the.
Yeah, I don't think he won anything, but I think the public at least were pretty like.
Because he covered the Queen's funeral or something, didn't
He
he?
covered the Queen's death. He announced the Queen's death, and he
Yeah.
covered the
Jesus.
Queen's funeral and all that
He-
sort of stuff,
Oh,
and,
that's
and the
right.
coronation.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was pretty like he was like
He was
the
the main
poster boy for
man, like.
BBC.
He
for
is
that time.
the head anchor of the BBC. He's the head anchor.
How much
presenter.
money is he on? Let's find out.
2
Do
minutes.
you know they all have to wear black whenever the Queen died?
Mm.
That's so weird whenever they're presenting on the news.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mad.
Weird
Mm.
things.
That time was so strange, wasn't it?
I
Like when she died.
remember
I
playing
remember
Rust whenever it happened. I was sitting
I remember being
and started writing in the chat. I was like, R.I.P. Queen. Like.
Oh my god. I remember being at work and having pure going, oh my god, like what's gonna happen?
Gonna be fucking
Yeah.
atomic bombs that off. Like.
Just is what it is. though.
Throwback.
And Chili Charles in charge.
What?
Hugh Edwards is the 4th highest paid presenter at the BBC, and he is on £439,989.
Who's the highest?
Gary Lineker, and he is on £1,354,989.
That's a
Oh,
big
yeah.
gap. Like. Who's second?
Zoe Ball,
Who's Zoe Ball?
she's a Radio 2 presenter.
Yeah,
What was she on?
she's been around. a
She's
lot,
on
yeah.
984,900.
Oh, bad her, right? Go Zoe Ball, get your coin,
And-
Queen.
I'm number
Get your
3.
coin.
Is Alan Shearer,
Oh,
and he's on
he fell off a bit.
Surprised at that.
he's on 444,900.
There's a big gap. That's a 500k gap, lah.
Yeah.
Where's our mate? Where's Noam?
Nolan is actually top 10. He's
Is he?
He's 5th highest paid in the whole BBC.
How much he getting?
He's on 404,000.
Fair play, Nolan.
Come on.
Fair play.
He's
Good
one.
man.
He's one under Hugh Edwards, and I would assume he'll be soon 3rd highest paid in the BBC.
Alright, no.
Go on.
Excellent.
Hey, get your coin, mate.
He's Mr. Northern Ireland.
He-
though,
he
like.
is
He's
Mr.,
the
yeah.
biggest presenter in Northern Ireland.
Fair play. We've had our turbulent times, but you're getting coin. Fair play. Here,
Do you think you come on the
can do
podcast?
you helped us.
I would actually try and get him on.
Get him on the fuck.
I think
Hear
we
this,
should.
lovely.
He's on holiday at the minute.
Nice. Here. Well, he's doing nothing.
Yeah,
Drop him a
sure.
wee
What
message.
else would you be on?
You get him and his ma on.
Apparently,
Is
though,
Ma supposed to be good
apparently though, he'd have to send him all the questions and everything. Like.
Oh, dear.
Everything would have to be proved. Like,
He does like.
I wouldn't want to I wouldn't want to grill. Like, I've no interest in grilling him. Like. I just want him on to talk about his career.
the petrol station thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's how he helped us there. Like. That
He-
was our step into. He elevated us.
He raised us.
Fair play.
Final question, Aaron. Do you think more things like this are going to start to come out? Do you think this is only the start of it? Because it seems a bit like has the whole Philip Schofield thing
Triggered
made
this.
like people be like, well, this has happened to me. Why should I not come out?
It might do, because the whole big black spot in the entertainment industry as a whole, this is, and if everything in the entertainment industry is that there's very powerful people in it, and that attracts certain, not everyone, but that sometimes attracts the wrong person, and that person likes to abuse their power for whatever that may be. If it might be something like Hugh Edwards throwing money at people to send in their dick,
Yeah.
or people like Philip Schofield who's given promotions to people if they sleep with him. It might come out,
Bold statements
it
here.
might- but that happens all the time. There's
Yeah.
definitely 100%, without a doubt, people that are still working in ITV and BBC who are maybe aren't doing it anymore, but definitely have done it.
Yeah.
100%, because that's only left the industry. Like, that was leaving the industry when I was working in the industry. Like, that was really, they were really, the Me Too stuff really helped that, and it was the atmosphere in the industry now compared to maybe even 5 years ago is completely different.
How bad is it behind the scenes? Like, is it absolute scandalous stuff going on? Like?
It's not all the time, and it's not that bad all the time,
Yeah.
but some people have it pretty shit.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And once you're in that, you're wrapped up in it. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard to get out. It's hard to get out of that, which usually leads to people leaving fairly quickly, going elsewhere. But it's rife and it's everywhere. It's not just the BBC. It's everywhere, and it's in television, it's in film, it's in theatre, it's in music. It's everywhere.
I suppose the start of it was the whole Jimmy Savile shit too. Like, I suppose that happened a couple of years ago as well.
Well, like, it came out a couple of years
It's
ago.
just-
I know, but that's what I
Also,
mean.
it's
Like,
probably
I
10
think
years
it'll
ago.
just keep continuing. Like, I don't think Schofield was the start of it. I'd say like
Yeah.
the likes of Jimmy Savile.
Just
Gary
more, it'll
Litter
just
and
be
all
more
that
of a magnifying glass in the whole thing as well.
I think as
Yeah.
well now with social media and stuff, like, people have more power than they did back in the day.
Yeah.
Do you know what
Mhm.
I mean? Like, people probably would have looked at the likes of Schofield and been like, fuck, like, there's not really much I can do.
Yeah.
He's untouchable.
But now all you have to do is put out a tweet or fucking get a newspaper to put it out, and you're fucking,
Yeah.
it's out there, like.
Yeah. That's true.
Found out this week, actually, Aaron did a runner for Tom Jones for The Voice.
Oh my.
Yeah. Found this out this week. I was actually quite surprised. So, fair play. Aaron, what was it? He
One
give
of
you like
many.
credit cards and stuff and was like,
Yeah,
just go.
Would you buy flip flops?
No, and I never did buy flip flops.
Party was a dead on lad.
If I did buy flip flops, I wouldn't spend $5,000 on them. No, he's really dead on guy. Apparently, he's one of the best. To be fair, and we worked with him quite a bit. Every year. I worked with him when I was living over there, and he was good. He was very good, and we didn't pay for a thing when we were with him.
Class.
Did you ever sleep with him?
I almost did, but I thought, what sort of trouble is this going to get Tom in? Better stop.
Tom, stop. But yeah, fair play. Lots of scandal.
There's definitely. I would be very surprised if there was any scandal to come from Tom Jones. That wasn't
What a nice guy.
too bad.
Yeah.
There's some good guys out there.
Yeah,
You know?
we can trust them. Anyway, I think we'll wrap that up there. Good.
Scandalous episode.
Scandalous episode, but bringing you on the mayhem of the week on Here's Crack podcast. So tune in, and also if you haven't already, please make sure hit the subscribe button if you've made it this far. If you're not following us on Spotify, give us a follow. Same with Apple Podcasts or whatever. I don't know what you do on Apple Podcasts. Leave a wee review as well.
Me.
And also, if you're not doing anything, send us a couple of wee DMs with guest recommendations. That would be cool, because we'd love to get exciting people on, talk to them, dissect their lives, all that there good stuff. But anyway, thank you very, very much for listening, and we will see you next week. Bye.